Hey guys, for Hispanic Heritage Month, I had the pleasure of sitting down with a modern day hero, Jennifer Ponce, who is a registered nurse. So, check it out. Hi, Jennifer, and thank you for joining me today. So, to kick off this interview, what is your ethnicity?
I'm American Cuban, so my mom's background is Cuban and my dad's American.
Because you are Cuban American, what was your upbringing like? And did you and your family have any special traditions that you guys may have practiced?
I definitely say a tradition we always had was definitely celebrating, the holidays, both Thanksgiving and Christmas together, having all the family come together, the cousins. That was always a favorite memory of mine growing up. Having puerco, pork, and turning the pig together. That was always a cool thing to do with the grandparents and having everyone together. Um, Anything else growing up? I'd say probably always hearing Spanish growing up was definitely a must. My mom always talked to me in Spanish at home. So it was definitely interesting to be home having to speak Spanish, then going into school or being with my friends and speaking English.
Let's fast forward a little bit to your profession. So, can you tell us a little bit about your role and what made you decide to pursue a career in medicine?
Currently, this is my third year as a nurse. I decided to go into healthcare because I love to help people and serve my community. Um, Definitely has been challenging being in Gainesville away from my family and from my support group. But one of my, I guess, favorite things about being a nurse is meeting the community up here where they are, working with Hispanic families, and being able to translate for them. A career goal, definitely I'd love to go back to school, get a master's. I'm looking into mental health, nurse practitioner. With everything going on with COVID and the climate just in the world at this time, I haven't decided to go back to school yet. I'm definitely enjoying being a bedside nurse and just growing in that role in general.
And since you did touch a little bit about COVID, how has that experience been for you at this time in the last couple of months?
I think my face just said it all. um, it's exhausting. It's tiring physically, mentally. It drains you. One of my favorite things, I mean, COVID is not uh, easy to explain. It's scary. It's scary for families. I've cried with patients. I've held hands with patients. I've had difficult conversations with family members over the phone. We've had Hispanic patients from different backgrounds come in and not be able to be with their family. And someone who comes from Miami, South Florida, and understands that familial presence, it's been great to be that person for a stranger, for a patient, and it's made an impact in my nursing care.
Since your time as a registered nurse, have you witnessed any healthcare disparities when it comes to different minority groups?
Working in healthcare, there's a lot of separation between whether it's a Hispanic person or someone from a different culture who has a different language. Something I think we forget within healthcare is meeting the patient where they are with their language. Um, Making sure that there's a translator at the bedside, whether it's via an iPad or an in-person translator, I think is key to help with their plan of care and help make sure they get their needs met. I see a lot of times patients get kind of like tossed to the side just because they don't speak English or because they can't translate their pain or how they're feeling or their needs. So I think it's very important that within the healthcare setting, we do have people who are able to speak Spanish, that they are certified.
I think things you're talking about definitely will help others that don't really understand or also have family members in this situation, whether it's COVID right now or anything else where they might need to go to the hospital, and just knowing that they'll have nurses like you by their bedside will give them, kind of like at ease and some peace, even during such chaotic times. So, again, thank you so much for everything that you do and nurses like you that make a difference in our world every single day.
Of course. Yeah. I've gotten a lot of feedback via Instagram, which I am not big on, video logging or anything. I just speak from the heart there. And people will direct message me and they're like, wow, thank you so much for what you're doing. I wish I would have had a nurse like that for my grandfather or my grandmother or my parent because their primary language isn't English. And I'm not 100% amazing at Spanish when it comes to medical terms, but I can relate to the, basic layman terms and communicate with the family about what's going on. And it has made a big difference. And it's a complete honor because I would hope that someone would do those things for, my family members if they were in the hospital.
Now, before we close this interview, I wanted to play a quick game with you called This or That. The game consists of 3 categories, and I'm going to give you 2 options for each, and you pretty much just have to pick your favorite out of the 2. So if you're ready, the very first category is music. Celia Cruz or Willie Chorino?
I'm going to go with my girl Celia.
Okay.
That's like a little bit tumpado,
Now for the second category, we have food. Arroz con pollo or picadillo?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, my abuela's arroz con pollo. Even though I make a mine picadillo.
And for our last category, we have desserts. Flan or tres leches?
I love both so very much. It depends on the season. It really does. If my mom's making it, it's going to be a flan with cream cheese, definitely. And if I'm buying from the store, I'll typically do the tres leches.
Thank you, Jennifer, for joining me today and sharing your life experience.